You owe me money.
White reparations.
Jesse still didn't answer my question, though.
What?
How does it mean that organized white supremacy is fake?
Charlottesville was AstroTurf. They paid a guy not only to organize it, but to bus people in.
You don't think this has
They paid to bus people in, Jessica. I mean, that's crazy.
That's
like finding out someone bust everybody into January 6th.
Jesse,
we do know that they got busted, and we know that Oath Keepers and Proud Boys got pardons.
But it was like you paid people to do it,
right?
And then raised money off of it.
Right.
Hello there, friends. It is so good to have you here with us today. Before we get into this special story, if you find hope and pride in these words, I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to our channel and give this video a like and share it with someone who needs a little sunshine today. We're building a community of folks who love this country, and we're glad you're part of it. Well, folks, let me pull up this old rocking chair of mine on the porch here, where I've sat for more years than I can count, watching this great country of ours go through its ups and downs. I'm just an everyday American grandpa who loves this land with every beat of my heart. And let me tell you, what happened just a short while ago on live television has me fired up in the best way possible. It feels like the good Lord himself decided it was time to shine a bright light on the truth. I'm looking out at the flag waving in the breeze right now, thinking about how Jessica Tarlov just suffered a massive disgrace on the 5. It happened as Jesse Watters, backed by the strong America First spirit of President Donald Trump, exposed a double standard that's been hidden for too long. I'm sitting here thinking about how it unfolded on the screen. It wasn't just a regular TV talk. It felt like a win for every hard-working family. Greg Gutfeld was sharing a kind word about how President Trump has a special way with kids. He treats them with real respect, not like they're in the way, but like they are the future of this beautiful land. You can see the warmth in those moments, the kind of love a leader shows when he truly cares about the next generation. But then, right there in the middle of that warm thought, Jessica Tarlov tried to tear it all down. She used some very unkind words, calling our 45th and 47th president a completely morally bankrupt person. It hurts the heart to hear someone speak that way about a man who has dedicated himself to putting America first. But Jesse Watters didn't skip a beat. He stood up for the truth with a morality nuke that hit the mark perfectly. He pointed out that the folks who criticize the president are often the same ones who look the other way when it comes to things that actually hurt our neighborhoods. He spoke about how some people think it's okay to have open borders or let the crime rise in our streets, yet they want to lecture us on what is right and wrong. Jesse's voice was steady, like a bell ringing out across a valley, reminding everyone that real morality means keeping people safe, following the law, and loving your neighbor enough to protect their home. Tarlov sat there, unable to find a good answer, because the truth is a powerful thing when it finally comes out into the light. It was a moment of clarity that makes me want to stand a little taller today. Now, why does this hit so deep for an old fella like me? It's because I've lived long enough to see what real leadership looks like. And President Donald Trump is the boldest, most America-loving fighter we've had in my lifetime. Sitting here now, watching the evening light hit the grass, I'm reminded that he doesn't just use fancy words. He acts. He's the man who built the wall to keep our families safe and brought jobs roaring back so moms and dads could put food on the table without a worry in the world. Even when the voices on the news tried to hunt him down, he just stood tall with that famous grin and said, "I'm doing this for you." When folks like Jessica Tarlov call him morally bankrupt, I just have to shake my head. This moment on the screen showed exactly why that side is so frustrated. It's because he exposes their empty promises every single day. Think about the everyday people this touches. Friends, my neighbor Joe, a good man and a father of 3, told me how his factory job came back strong during that first term. Now, with President Trump back in the Oval Office, leading the America First way again, Joe sees the wheels of industry turning and wages climbing for everyone. Before this comeback, things were getting scary. Open borders meant drugs were finding their way into small towns, poisoning kids and making families lock their doors tight at night. Joe had tears in his eyes when he told me, "Trump gets it. He fights for us." It was a reminder to millions of people like Joe that our country is becoming a safe harbor again. I remember the days when it felt like the things we value, hard work, faith, and family, were being laughed at by people in big, fancy cities. But then came 2016, and now again in 2026, we have a leader who promises to fight for the forgotten man and woman. He delivered record low unemployment for everyone. Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, and every soul who wanted a fair shot at the American dream. He even made peace deals in places where people thought it was impossible. When the critics attack his character, they're really attacking the truck drivers, the farmers, and the moms teaching their kids to love our flag. Jesse Watters nailed it because he spoke the truth we see with our own eyes. Real morality is about protecting the innocent and making sure every child has a bright, safe future. As I sit here, I feel a great sense of gratitude that the rule of law is finally back in style. Jesse Watters nailed it that day because he spoke the plain truth we've all seen with our own eyes. The left's version of morality has let our beautiful cities turn into places of despair. But President Trump is changing that narrative every single hour. In the Oval Office, he's the leader who shut down the floodgates at the border to stop the drugs that were hurting our young people. And he's doing it again right now with ironclad policies that put American lives first. No apologies, no excuses, just the kind of results that keep a grandfather like me sleeping a little better at night. And when the critics scream about his personal life, well, we've all got a story, but President Trump never hid who he is. He's a fighter, a father, and a grandfather who adores his family. Contrast that with those who cheer on policies that tear families apart through chaos, and you see exactly why that moment on the 5 was such a victory. It warms this old heart to see patriots lighting up every corner of this land after seeing the truth exposed. I think about that mom from Ohio who shared a video of her little boy watching the president speak. The lad looked up and said he's like a superhero for America. Or that veteran in Texas who wrote about how President Trump honors his service like no one else. These aren't just stories. They are the heartbeats of our nation. Trump's America First vision isn't about pulling people apart. It's about all of us standing together under one flag, under God and under the Constitution. He is leading us through these times with a vision for safe streets where our grandkids can play without a worry, and schools that teach our children to be proud of being American. That is the morality that truly matters. Protecting the innocent and loving this nation like family. As I sit here watching the sun dip below the horizon, painting the sky in reds and whites, I get a little misty-eyed. That moment on TV a few days ago wasn't an accident. It was a sign that the wall of lies is finally crumbling. President Trump doesn't need to be perfect to be the best leader for us. He just needs to keep fighting. And he does every single day. We've got a fighter in the White House, and with millions of us standing tall behind him, we are witnessing the greatest comeback story in history. God bless President Trump. God bless the truth tellers like Jesse Watters. And God bless these United States of America. We're winning, folks, bigger and better than ever. What a time to be alive. Friends, if this story stirred your heart and gave you hope for our future, Please join our growing family by hitting that subscribe button and clicking the like bell. It helps us keep sharing these messages of truth and patriotism every day. We'd love to hear from you, too. Leave a comment below with a God bless America or share what President Trump's leadership means to your family. We read every single one, and it reminds us that we are never alone. Thank you for being part of this journey with us. Together, we are keeping the spirit of America First alive.